Hello folks, sorry for the wait here. I'm Jeff Gaines and Games for the AM2R Randovania Weekly, and we will be kicking off in just a few minutes here. We're just had a little bit of a late start with our runners, so working on getting the cropping confirmed before we switch over to the race. So appreciate all your patience. While we wait, we'll go over the rules. We've got our alternate settings this time, which is our mostly beginner trick preset. We have some random starting items as well as we've got random start. I believe DNA can also be on bosses. Let's see. Oh, sorry, not just beginner. We've got some intermediate and advanced tricks too. Starting with Charge Beam, as we usually do. Prefers Metroids and major bosses for DNA. Yep, and we need 10 out of 10. So, pretty standard stuff. We've had this on our had this on stream before for you. Looks like we're almost caught up on cropping, and then we'll be good to go. Today we've got Wordsayer and Meepy for you on Restream. Gala's also joined in on the race. Now it looks like all of our races are ready, so we will prepare to get this started. So both racers on stream are seasoned veterans at this point of our weeklies. So it should be a good race here. 10 DNA, both are going to be comfortable with a lower percent queen fight. I'm just waiting a few seconds here as the timer catches up. Just kidding, actually I haven't kicked off yet. I've got to keep track of the race time review. I'm doing speed gaming setup. My mind's in too many places at once. Oh, I should actually click the button for start. There we go. Apparently I was the holdup. My bad. Again, doing too many things at once. There we go. We've got about 45 seconds. If you're interested in joining the AIM Tour weeklies or learning about the server, Renovania, please check out. We've got our Discord link there. You can also check out the main Randovania server to learn more about the program. You might be thinking, hey, doesn't AM2 already have a built-in randomizer? And the answer is yes, but Renovania adds some key functionalities where we're going to be able to like shuffle our main ammo launchers. So we need like one specific item instead of just any expansion. We've got DNA. We've got some extra unique items like speed booster upgrades, multi-world, all sorts of logic settings for you to play around with. So it's a good time. I definitely recommend checking it out. And it looks like we're starting in GFS Thoth, which is a unique one. We're going to need to do some syncing here because obviously we've got a little bit of a delay going on. So about 12 seconds on Meepy's side. Unfortunately, I missed what Genesis had, so we'll get another peek from Words. But with this start, we're basically... Oh, that's a DNA, so gonna have to come back here later. You could do it now, but this is just a slow fight. We've got the warp to start feature that will allow us to come back when we're more prepared. So leaving this behind is not a big deal. The power bomb blocks leading out of Thoth are already destroyed, so that's not a big concern. Meepy's using a unique suit palette, and I believe the background palette randomizer, so that's why there's a little bit of a color difference there. It's a new cosmetic feature that was added to Randovania recently, was to shuffle the colors. So might find some unique stuff. You get used to seeing all the vanilla colors after, you know, so many hours in this game. And starting with bombs will definitely be very nice here. Having some form of explosives early definitely helps when we're routing through especially the first two areas, Golden Temple and Hydro Station. This is our first pack of super missiles that we can't use until we find the launcher. We'll see the big red X on the ammo count there to signify that. So heading down into our main cave section, really going to start. I got to imagine the routing choices are going to be heading up first. That was a Gamma Industrial Complex Breeding Grounds Gamma. Okay. I gotta believe we're going to skip the alphas here. Yeah, that's a good call. So one thing actually we might see before the players go up is actually go down and check out the item that's blocked by Speed Booster. It's really the only time we're going to get to peek this, or one of the likely times. And so I like getting that piece of information early. We're in a good spot to go grab it, and it looks like Meepy is probably doubling back to go grab it. So. And it's just a power bomb. Little high five there as our runners pass by each other. And unfortunately, Meepy taking a hit, so we'll have to be a little bit careful. While the enemies in these first couple sections don't do a ton of damage, it will add up. So. There's our super missile launcher. Wow, so that is a fantastic find, and it looks like Words is not heading that way. So in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's going to cost Words a lot. Like he's going to find that eventually, so I don't think it's a massive problem. But it will make Meepy's Metroid fights considerably faster. And now knowing that super missiles are early, does not have to be as concerned about picking up those missile packs as well, which will speed up the queen fight later on, whereas Words might pick up some extras. Words, though, finding the speed booster in the Area 2 entrance. Great find. Won't have any massive advantage here, as Meepy will probably get that in the next 30 seconds or so, but really good for both the runners. This will give us, not just allow us to move fast, but gives us some movement options, as we don't have Spider Ball or Space Jump or High Jump. So being able to Shine Spark vertically to reach some of these ledges will definitely be a good option that I imagine the players will take advantage of. looks like Words is opting to go for the exterior alpha. Unfortunately, has taken a good bit of damage, so is going to have to be very careful with this fight. With his alpha moving so fast, wouldn't be surprised if we take a hit. Thankfully, this is a non-dodging alpha, so it's fairly easy to juggle, and gets rewarded with an E-tank. First E-tank's always nice. Essentially doubling your health. Like I said, maybe going a little bit quicker there with that super, those supers, and it looks like we've got a freeze on Word sides. Oh, we're going here. And that's actually a convenient super missile drop for maybe. And oh, I see a progressive jump in the pipes there. That'll definitely be something both runners want to pick up. We need first progressive jump, of course, is high jump, and then followed by space jump. And while not necessarily required, it'll definitely make both runners' lives a lot easier. We also see Spider Ball in lower area too, which is okay. It's a nice to have, but that pretty much means that all vertical climbs are in logic now, things like tower as well, which can be a pain. It gives you the option, but it also, since it opens up so many things. Ooh, that's a really smart thing by Words. I did not realize that you could just go to the right from the item and get that visual peek on the others. I've always gone around and fought with the auto, so that's something that I will be keeping in mind. And as well, both racers doing a good job with the routing of this room. We typically leave that bottom item in this tunnel for the escape, because if it ends up being nothing when you visually peek it the first time, you don't have to waste the time with the tunnel. So good call on both of them, but they're both opting to grab Spider Ball, which I think is a good idea. So I didn't get to mention it, but we also found Ice Beam, which does... I'm trying to think about how much logically that does for us. Probably not a lot right now, but it will help in that basically all enemies are going to freeze in one shot, which is very nice when we get to later areas where the enemies are doing a little bit more damage. So I got to imagine we're going to go for that high jump first, and then probably go into Brooding Grounds 2. Brooding Grounds 2 should be logical without high jump, given these settings, but having it for the fights and just general movement, you want to grab this now. And there is our second progressive jump. So wow, that is really good for both of our runners. And that means we're going to be able to see some really cool movement with space boosting later on. We'll get to see a lot of keeping that speed. And it looks like Meepy's opting to grab this lower one now, which is fine. We've got the charge bomb jumps to help us out and get that consistently, so don't mind doing that now. We're just losing a few seconds there, missing the bombs the first time. And we head into Varia Chamber. And wow, basically vanilla is our first suit. So both players can be really happy with that. That is 50% damage reduction, as well as one step closer to gravity movement, or gravity-free movement. So this is where that early supers is going to come in handy. These Metroid fights are going to go very quickly for Meepy, especially the Gamma, whereas Words is going to have to take some time and really conserve those missiles getting through here. Should have enough to get through on one go, but yeah, especially if there's a missile tank there, Words will essentially be getting a free refill, so. But interesting that Words goes for the hint first. So Thoth, we knew, Breeding Grounds, Alpha Nest, West. Okay, so we're getting one DNA here. We know that. At least one. Looks like Meepy opted to use some supers on that alpha, which is fine, but really has to make sure he hits this last one with that super if he wants that advantage. It looks like actually just cleaning up nicely with the some missile spam, and has 2 for that last alpha. So should go pretty quick, and then we'll be using Speed Booster to go into Overground Alley. Nothing for us here, but it's not too bad. And Words not checking... Not checking Overgrown Alley. Not gonna bite them, but interesting that they skipped that one. I wonder if there was a concern for getting the soft lock, since we do have some changes to the map. Maybe thinking that the if they do take that route, they would get stuck. Looks like Meepy has opted to fight Arachnus. Definitely a unique one. We do have some supers here to make this go by pretty quick, and that is a DNA. So that's actually really nice. Yeah, usually we want PBs just to make that fight super trivial, but bombs and supers, that's fine. And it looks like Words may go for the same thing, but unfortunately it will be a slightly slower fight. So that that quick trip to Area 3 for Meepy is really paying dividends. And now we can basically full clear as we head up towards Area 1, I have to assume. And there's our wave beam. Not going to do anything logically for us, but is a convenient one to have, especially later on when we head into Area 3 and Area 4 with all the sand. that is screw attack. Very nice. So both players will be picking that up early, most likely. But hopefully Words does not skip too much of the main cave sections, just taking the pipes, because if so, he will be leaving that super missile for a little while, which would be really rough for him. I like going into Breeding Grounds 1 here first and grabbing this hint, as well as 3 basically free checks. And that is our gravity suit already. Wow. This is a pretty loaded seed. With this, I mean, we have basically everything we need to beat the game, so I got to imagine we're going to pursue hints as fast as possible. Probably grab Alpha Squad as well, just for the fact that it's 5 checks, and really the biggest hurdle for our players going forward is going to be the Queen fight at the end. Yes, we do have 2 suits, giving us 75% damage reduction. We've got supers, but we've only got 4 of them. And we've only got 2 E-tanks, so I'll make that 6 supers. So, really, like, that is going to, like, push the lower limits of what our racers are probably comfortable with. But if you can get away with fighting Queen on, like, tremendously low expansion counts, you could take it here. The opposite is also true, where someone who maybe goes and grabs a few more things could have a faster Queen fight and make up a lot of time at the end. So it's really going to come down to what the racers are comfortable with, and it's definitely a rough position to be in, because if you're basically in go mode minus the boss, it's like, when do I feel ready? Clearing Area 1 is that, like, yeah, while you can pursue hints directly, I still think going around and grabbing some more expansions is the correct plan, especially a check dense area like Area 1. Because you can also take the connection into Pipe Hub and towards Alpha Squad, which I think is a really good option right now. Alpha Squad is always good if you can do it. That is an out of the way supers tank, but honestly, I gotta think you might grab that and take warp out. Like, Super's there. E-tank. I gotta imagine you take. You gotta go take that super in Spider Chamber, because I think just having that extra ammo, especially when Meepy's not prioritizing missile drops. I guess Words is neither, but we're gonna have low missile counts. We're probably gonna use some charge bomb strats, but like every pack of supers you can get is quite a few seconds saved, and quite a bit safer for Queen. So happy to see that get picked up. looks like maybe he's opting to fight Guardian now. We've got speed, so we can do the insta-kill, which is good. And there is a chance that there's DNA up here, but it's not, so... Yeah, I would have said that's an odd call if you don't have power bombs. But the fact that that location could have been our DNA with our boss's our preferred boss's setting means that I think grabbing that before taking a warped starter, leaving the area is definitely good, because we shouldn't be back to Area 1 basically the rest of the race. So like I said, this is a good time to come back and do Genesis. We've got plenty of supers now to get through this pretty quickly. Just have to make sure we hit them. We've also got a lot more damage reduction and health to make this a lot safer. We're able to take a little bit more risks in the in order to go faster. And it looks like Words took the pipe and went down to Sector 4, or not Sector, I've been playing Fusion too much. Area 4, the tower. Which does have some items for us, but is going to delay that super missile even longer. But it looks like probably prioritizing hints. Arachnus, Bubble Layer, Omegas. Okay, so we've got at least one Omega to do. And if I'm Meepy, I probably take this into Breeding Grounds 3 now. There's a hint down there that I think is worth grabbing. As well as I believe there's another DNA down there, so. And it looks like Words is going to pursue A3 interior, which is definitely an option. We can do basically everything in here, so it's not bad. I don't know how far he's looking to push this. Oh, it looks like he's going to leave. Oh, and maybe head towards Breeding Grounds 3. If he does that now, I think that he'll save himself from this super's disadvantage that he's been fighting against right now. But he needs to get those as soon as possible. Which, yeah, if your Words, I think you go and grab the couple items out here. Interesting that he's not checking the item down below. Which may mean he goes into Breeding Grounds 3 without supers. He really needs those supers. Oh, okay, yeah. So like he can do all of this, so it's not, like I said, it's not the end of the world, but he's going to be losing a lot of time through this entire section to Meepy, who's got a very strong weapons loadout. Yeah, so we see just the speed that these supers take out these gammas. We've got a hint here. which is Distribution Center Alpha Squad. So, mandatory Alpha Squad. Not usually a surprise. Can you use Spacer and Plasma at the same time? Yes, you can. If you don't have Spacer, it acts as a single beam. Plasma is also a single beam by itself. So, in an ideal world, you do get both. Also, welcome in. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Continue asking. And that is our 7th DNA on Meepy's side, so needing 3 more to access final bosses. We know where 2, I believe 2 of them are. We know there's a distribution, there's an Alpha Squad one and a Bubble Air one, so just looking for one more hint. It's taking a save and just going to head back in. Oof, yeah, again, those supers are just a room away, basically, so there's a sweet high five here by our runners. And now Meepy's probably going to take the pipe to Alpha Squad. There's a hint down there, as well as one of our DNA. Could very easily be 2. Could also peek Terizo right now. This is probably a good call to peek the boss, since that could be one of our last DNA. It is not. It is a Powerbomb expansion. That is our main power bombs, our power bomb launcher. Not gonna do a whole lot for us at this point, but it is a nice to have. We can stun the queen blobs at the end. And will also allow us to do the queen quick kill, assuming we have the ammo for it. Perfect time for the stream to freeze. We'll switch back audio back over to words while we wait for Meepy to catch back up. Doesn't look like there's anything worth it in on Meepy's side, and looks like probably going to, yeah, grabbing that one gamma on the way just in case it's DNA. I like that. We'll also pick up the Spacer Beam Chamber item. Didn't even take a look at it. We definitely take those supers, and then we head towards Alpha Squad. Main Cave's research site, so unfortunately that's one we've already gotten. So if the DNA is not, if both the DNA aren't here, we got one of them, yeah, just one. So likely what happens is we have to go get the last hint in Omega Nest. What Meepy could also do is check Tester and maybe some of these other ones. Big problem we're doing is leaving that we're leaving a couple Metroids in distribution center, and I think there's just too many things open for us to kind of guess where the last DNA is. I'd much prefer... Or did Meepy not get this hint? Maybe not. So now we know that we need to find at least one more hint. And I think you go and do Bubble Air now and go get the hint and ensure you know where that last one is. Because every second you're just randomly searching for this last DNA, I think you're losing some time. And honestly, at this point, we should be more than comfortable with our equipment loadout to go to Queen. So, like, yeah, we've got some easy gammas on the way here, and maybe taking a pivot save. But I definitely think making it to that last hint is going to be paramount. And yeah, we're sitting at 16 supers. We are loaded. How many how many DNA are required? We have 10 shuffled into the pool, with all 10 being required. They are located on Metroids and bosses. We know we've got a remaining one in one of the Omegas in Bubble Lair, and then one is left unhinted. So we're going to grab that final hint now, because we've still got a lot of Metroids and bosses open to us. So we really don't want to be wasting too much time, especially when we're in go mode so early. Prioritizing this hint is definitely a good call. We could also opt to fight these Omegas with supers and the weak spots. They're pretty fast, and there's usually a good chance that Plasma Beam is just being stored on one of them. So caves. Oh god, it's in mines. Okay, so that means if he's taking a warp back, so hopefully goes down and picks up that super tank again on his way out, but will be working his way up main caves and then into mines. On Word's side, looks like he's picked up the Genesis DNA and is working his way back out. Unfortunately, a little bit of a slower fight due to the fact that, again, that super missiles is still being evasive. Super missiles, of course, not required to actually beat the game, but will make that final Queen fight a heck of a lot easier. Especially when we're doing what'll likely be plasmaless. Having the extra ammo will definitely help. But we do have charge bombs, and both racers are very familiar with how to utilize those against Queen. And it looks like Words is heading back into Area 2 and likely going to be grabbing that last hint as well. Maybe fighting the Omegas while he's down there. It would be slow, but if he's not trying to find supers, then he's probably just going to grab the Omega Boys down there because he's never going to be back. So he knows that supers can't be down there. Just a little bit of a long run for Meepy to get out of mines. Now we've got that last DNA. One thing I would probably critique about the routing. Where is Meepy going? Wasn't the last DNA in Omega Nest? Going to a save? I am kind of lost on what's going on now. Probably should have killed the Omega Warriors there, take the reset, grab the mines one. What's going on? Is he taking the pipe to Area 2 from Area 4? Maybe picking up that super on the way? Nope. Foregoing that super. I am... Okay, he is grabbing it. Yeah, definitely think just heading straight up to Area 2 is probably faster, but that's fine. We'll get there when we get there. On Word's side, doing some super missileless Omegas. Thankfully, hopefully it doesn't take as long if we can get the weak spot shots. Those, of course, doing 3 times damage, so does speed this up considerably if you can get them consistently. On Meepy's side, though, we're 1 DNA off. We know where it is. Just needs to check that it is the East Omega. Words has just picked that up, and I'm just realizing that since we've got a DNA in mines, that Words has a required missile launcher, or super missiles launcher to find. Which he will find soon once he grabs this last hint, or at least he'll find that the knowledge that he needs to find it soon, which is unfortunate because he didn't know up until this very moment that like supers is hard required. Hopefully he finds that in a good amount of time. It being really right next to the location that he needs to use them. Basically the next room. I have my worries that these may not be found until last, basically. On Meepy's side, we've got that last DNA and are going to take the added pipe shortcut that Randovania adds back into Crystal Caverns, allowing us to get back to labs faster, skip a lot of the those endgame traversal rooms. So we've actually got some really nice ammo counts. Between like 60 and 80 missiles on Meepy's side is like really good for lowering the queen, or not buffing the queen's health as much. And we've got the pile of supers to use. No spacer or plasma means that farming is not really going to be a viable option past the like very first 1 or 2 rounds. So we probably don't need to be too cautious with our charge bombs, but it might be good to get a few of those in. See a sweet move here, and by that I mean bonking into the door. Two suits, 6E. Yeah, this should be comfortable. No, give us the feedback. Yeah, so you see between the phases using some charge bombs there to deal some extra damage. If we get the majority of the bombs to hit, it's practically the equivalent of using a super, so the damage is not negligible. And you can see we can get like maybe one of the blobs farmed. So, and yeah, Meepy's looking to really conserve those supers. This is a kind of setup that I also use. Use a few supers every once in a while in this first phase, but then mainly charge bombs, and then you can spam regular missiles in the hallway phases. So yeah, it should be about 25 to 30 missiles per phase here, which means we should we should get a pretty quick hallway phase here, being able to do it in a single round. Just have to be careful to not get hit every time. Should have this one as well though. And as we lead into this last phase, we've got 14 supers, which we will just lay into queen. Unfortunately getting hit a few more times than we would like. There we go. No power bombs, so not going to be able to do the quick kill. Would be nice if we didn't use that. If we didn't have to use that last power bomb. Like, I think it was the right time to do it, but yeah, definitely gonna be better to just go in and bomb that. Okay, so queen done for Meepy. On word side, doing some A4 cleanup. The baby. Everyone's favorite part of the race, or for the racers themselves, is waiting for the baby to cooperate. Because when you don't know how close your opponent is behind you, this little guy can stress you out. Yep, just like this. It's like the baby can just get stuck swirling one of these crystals for, 10 seconds plus, and it's just like, why do you do this to me? Do you not care for my heart health? unfortunately for Words, just on a hunt for supers that are basically the last place he wants to check because it's right next to where he needs to go. And all of these other checks are in logic. Like, there's so much that he can do right now. It's really unfortunate that he missed those early on. And that is time for Meepy with a 46 something. 47.03. There you go. Very good job indeed. We'll hit done over there. Looks like Gala finished first. Surprise, surprise, with 40 minutes. Holy mackerel. Spring Ball was an Ice Beam Chamber. Never going to get that. We've got our Progressive Suits. Ice Beam, yes. Wave Beam, yes. Spazer was Lower Factory Hub. Not going to get that. Plasma was on Parkour Course. Never getting that. Yeah, that was basically all we missed, so. Go wait, maybe in the waiting room. We'll get some after action commentary in just a moment.
Hello.
Hey, welcome in, GG's.
I was just watching the V-stream. How did Words miss super missiles? Huh?
Basically what happened was right off the bat, you went down towards Area 3 and did the couple of the free checks that were there, found supers, and then went into Area 2, and Words just went directly into Area 2. And what happened was he found Screw Attack and then used Screw Attack to get to Breeding Grounds 3 and do that first. And then was like, oh, I'm so close to the end, and prioritized hints, so never went back through that little corridor that we know that super missiles are in. And it's, yeah, it's just...
Yeah, that's painful.
An unfortunate spot, because my assumption is because those checks are right next to where you need to go for mines, they'll probably be last.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see on the credits where Spring Ball was? Because I didn't manage to catch that.
Spring Ball was on Ceres, on Ice Beam Chamber.
Okay. So basically I wouldn't have gotten either of the 3 items.
Yep. Yeah, Lower Factory Hub for Spacer, and then Parkour Course.
Yeah, for Plasma.
For Plasma, which, yeah, means you need to do Ceres, which is like 2 just awful checks. So yeah, definitely not getting those.
Boy.
But yeah, I was hoping that Words would find supers at one point, because even when you both did Breeding Grounds 3 at around the same time, Words skipped a few more checks here and there for speed, as well as you, since you had supers, you went and did Genesis, so like the times where you did Breeding Grounds 3 were about the same, but like over the course of the race, having supers for like all those early Metroid fights as well, it was like, yeah, it really adds up.
Because the seed in general was just super free, basically.
Yeah.
You had basically all DNA in early locations. The only thing that's kind of annoying is finding out at the last hint that mining alpha is required.
Yeah, which is what for Words, like a part of going fast is realizing that, like, yeah, I'm basically done, and unfortunately that mines hint was the very last one for him as well, so he didn't know, like, it could have been a superless seed, but finding that last hint is like kind of an unfortunate kick.
Did he not see that one yet?
No, he did. He did, but just right at the end, just like you had your last hint. So he was going on the... I got to imagine he was going on the assumption that there's a chance he wouldn't need supers, so he was trying to go faster, which is I think a good call, but it's unfortunate that it's like right at the end you see, oh, I guess I should have been a little bit more thorough in some of my exploring.
Yeah. That's rough. Oh, I never stopped my timer. Oops.
You stopped it on race time at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking in the early game too, whether like going down first and then instantly to area 2 was the better choice, because I was thinking maybe I should go to area 2 first or go deep into Breeding Grounds 3. But turns out that was a very good choice.
Yeah.
This group attack that was in Spider Ball Challenge wasn't
Yes.
really too late either, because
No.
you don't have that much of a use with it in area 2.
No.
And
And
so,
the fact that you already had the ice beam hint, or you already had ice beam, means like you didn't have to double back for the hint.
yep. Wait, he didn't have Ice Beam at that point?
No, he.
Oh,
Also
you mean
had
like in
it.
general?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying, like its location wasn't too bad, and that you didn't need to go back
Yeah.
for it. So we'll be picking up power bombs here, I gotta imagine.
Yep. And I really hope he finds those supers fast. That's really unfortunate to miss those.
Yeah. Might take this into lower area 3.
Did he do tower yet? I assume yes, since he had Scoo early, I think.
Yeah, he did tower after the hint showed that he required supers. So went around and killed some of the gammas in there, and
Because he knows that killing the latest isn't a logic here with supers.
yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, I think in like mid to late game, I did way too many checks that were necessary. Which I don't think they punished me too hard, since most of them were just quick missiles or drops that I just dismissed. I feel like it probably shouldn't have gone too out of my way for that. Words the stream is dead.
It's been freezing every once in a while for both of you. Give it a couple seconds, it'll catch back up.
So what haven't he done yet, with the exception of Mines and Spike Mace? I assume all of lower 3, all of
and
area
distribution.
5.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think it probably lost location that, because like from his perspective, it probably would be so much nicer to, after being done with lower 3, to route that into the pipe to go to area 5 and clean that up.
Yeah, possibly.
But-
It depends where he took the last. Or, not familiar where he
Oh,
took his
space
last
up.
save. Okay, well, oh, I was gonna say, is he gonna take the save there?
But like this, no, this is 2 checks. This is Skippy and the Gamma.
Yeah, unfortunately, 2 very slow checks, but
The Gamma isn't that slow, but Skippy definitely is.
yeah, at least this guy's not a dodging gamma, so yeah, you can kind of missile spam it.
And the speed boost upgrade.
That's all 3.
Oh, where was the second one?
Uh,
I
you
know
got it
one was
recently.
in Spider Challenge.
Yeah. It was
Next.
the Surface Alpha.
Ah, okay.
Hooray for Skippy!
Go Skippy.
Quite possibly the worst location for Super Launcher to be, Vanilla Supers.
Yeah, that is definitely a very bad check.
Uh,
Which is so annoying because like it happens regularly enough that you kind of want to do it if you
yeah, you
get
can't.
into this position.
Yeah, you can't ignore it. Like it's you can't just be like, oh, it's. There's no way it's there. There's definitely a way it's there.
Yeah.
Also, congrats on a new PB time for community weeklies.
Yeah, I was just carried by the seat,
Yeah,
to be honest. Could have been so much worse with both item locations and DNA.
this is 100% true. Yeah, it's like you played well, but the seed definitely helps because it's like I don't know how anyone's gonna top the 33 minutes from Gallus one pipe rando seed.
Simple by having an easier pipe run those seats so you can
Yeah,
do
even
28 minutes.
easier. Yeah. And Words is going down to Area 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, it's what makes sense is the thing. Unfortunately, is
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's the big issue. Like it
yeah,
makes sense to go here and clean this up.
yeah. It's like this is definitely
Just why
the right
why would
call.
you why would you go all the way back just for this one single check, only to then need to go all the way to here again?
Yeah, especially for something that's like been in Logic for so long as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to like play off of like generator order a little bit, it's like Supers is just chilling there.
Yep. That's one of the reasons why I usually always try to route that in early. Just because if it ends up being important, it usually is very important, and then you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, because even in our standard settings, like those are sphere 0 checks. So
I really hope he's not gonna fully clear Area 5. Surely he will realize it before that.
nope. No, I mean if you're here, you do Area 5.
I mean, where was the suits again? I know one was in Area 2, and I think the other in the Space Jump Chamber or something. They were
These
both really
suits,
early game.
one was vanilla, and the other
Oh,
was... Can't
I
remember.
think the other one was Space Jump Chamber. It was something really early. Either on the way to Area 1 or in Area 1. So yeah, I guess Area 5 is technically logical. And actually from now it shouldn't take that long anymore, because he only has like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 11 checks left. Oh, he's leaving.
Where's he going, though?
Did he realize something? You will never know unless the stream comes back.
Not there either.
Hmm.
That's
Interesting
all.
to go out of your way for that one single check.
May have just forgot to route it in earlier when doing
Maybe.
A4. Because like I don't mind that, because that's all of A4 done now. What didn't take too
It
long
was
to do either.
something that I wanted to do when I initially Shines plugged up, but then I forgot until I was like in Mines again. Was that I originally wanted to check Testa, because Testa should have had DNA.
Yeah.
And if that was the last DNA, then I wouldn't have needed to go to the hint.
Yeah.
But he does not have.
Good old corner strats.
Yep.
Gonna want to be running here because there's a morph block or a super block in the way.
Yep, and he just realized he doesn't have supers for the super blocks.
Gonna assume we don't. Oh,
That's
it's kind of
painful.
because like supers could be blocked in parkour course, couldn't they?
Theoretically, yeah.
Let's hope, for word's sake, he does not
Which is,
pursue that.
yeah. Which is why you try to practice the the springboard skips, so that you don't need to waste your time with fighting unnecessary bosses.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever learn how to skip spring ball in parkour course. That is not not a morph I am comfortable with.
It's certainly something. I'm sure you can theoretically like get consistent at it, because it's just timing.
Just timing. Yeah.
Just timing, yeah. You only have to do like what, 2 frame perfect inputs in a row? Something along those lines. But the dribble drive springboard skip should be relatively easy. In comparison at least.
I always like that you can at least peek that one without spring ball.
Yeah, in most cases that just suffices. In most. Two more checks and he's done.
Still has the EMP.
Yeah, it's this one, the EMP, and then he needs to get out. Or he
And
already
the,
goes out.
yeah. Whoops. Did not
Why
unlock
not?
this door.
Which I guess for him means he can now also pick this item on the way.
Maybe, maybe if he, I was gonna say if he activates the EMPs, he'll go after the
Zetas and
very,
Omegas.
no, not the Zetas and Omegas, since they can't have supers, but like he'll like chase up the Area 2 one, and then I was gonna say the Area 3 one, but the Area 3 one's blocked by supers, so because like the Area 3 one's at least close to where supers are. Oh, it's
Which area 2-1?
like the Area 2 EMP puzzle.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Alright, we're back in
Yep,
A2.
seems like he'll be chasing the area 2-1.
I don't think he also checked Space Boost Alley on his first pass. He did have Speed Booster.
Which one was Space Boost Alley again?
Or not Space Boost Alley, the
Oh.
Overgrown Alley, yeah.
Yeah,
Getting my
Fusion.
game's messed up, yeah. Kept saying sectors as well.
Yeah. Been happening to me too.
not going to do that one. Okay. Going to...
Area 4. Yeah. And then from there, hopefully to area 3.
We're down to area 6. Oh, psych.
Maybe he'll do the EMP one now.
Oh, one thing I meant to ask for your routing was you went and did the mines alpha last, and after the escape, you went down to area 4 to take the pipe to area 2. Why didn't you just go to area 2?
Because I thought going down would be faster.
Okay,
And
so that
turns
was
out I
just
don't think it was.
I don't think it was either. I admire the searching for new strats, but yeah, I don't think it was the right call.
Yeah, no. It's like, if you go down, then you need to go through like 6, 7 rooms-ish, and then take another pipe, as
Yeah, and those are
opposed to just
big
going up where
rooms.
you... Yep. As opposed to
Oh,
going up where you only need to go to like 3. Oh, he's gonna find it!
birds, do it.
Hooray!
Yep, that is a pause of frustration. Yeah, that's... Oh, it looks like Words has decided to forfeit now that he's kind of
Oh,
complete. He's
yeah,
completed the seed. Theoretically, if
basically.
we can get him up in here. Yeah, he knows where the rest is. So.
Hello.
Hello, welcome
Hey,
in.
Words, welcome in.
Yeah, after I hit about the 50-minute mark, I was just like, yeah, I'm probably going to forfeit anyway, but I want to find these supers. And it just so happened to be the very last thing I could check.
Yeah, it was unfortunately what I have to imagine was going through your mind with the routing was because like Meepy and I gotta assume Gala also went this direction first and got
Mhm.
really early supers, but when you went up towards area 1 and found Screw, like you practically had
Yeah.
everything for go mode, so like you were
Mhm.
focused on hints, and then when it wasn't until that very last hint where you actually found out that you needed supers, because it was very likely that they could have just been skipped.
Yeah, that is exactly
Yeah.
what happened. I was just like, I have literally everything I need. I could even do this with 2 E-tanks because I have gravity suit. Like, it would suck, but I could do it. And then so just like I go through everything, get 9 hints, like, okay, we're good to go, almost go mode. And then I get that last hint. It's like, dang it, I gotta search everything now, because I was skipping a lot of stuff because I felt like I was in go mode. I'm like, okay, hints are the more important thing.
Yeah.
And then I found out I needed that, and it's just like, dang it. And then Gala finished like, well, it was in a quick spot that I just missed, but there's a lot of those. So
Yeah, with having both jump, screw, and speed, it's like it could have been anywhere, even with how
Mhm.
quickly like Gala finished. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the another thing that comes up is like, since it was in a location right beside where you needed to go, I feel like
Mhm.
there's also incentive to like not
Yeah.
check that until later.
Exactly. Do that last around. Yeah. That is exactly how that
What are
goes.
the
Like,
chances that that location on the way has the required stuff?
Yep, and I checked all the other ancillary locations too, like
Mhm.
all the middle mining or the main caves spots, it's just like I checked all of them except that one. I even had it in my head. It's gonna be Spike Maze because it's an easy, quick location. But I had so many other spots that had like 4 or 5 that I could check real quick. So I'm like, I'll check the high check density locations first,
Yeah,
and
which we
then
were like, both me and we're like, I don't think he's doing anything wrong here. It's just like it's not
yeah.
there, unfortunately. Like
Yep.
we both were like, yeah, no, this seems like great routing. It's just
Yep. And
it's just wrong, actually.
and the irony is, if I hadn't have gotten Screw Attack, I would have gotten that so quick. Because like I knew I needed to go to Breeding Grounds 3, and I'm not gonna just run past Spike Maze. Because who would do that? So like, if I hadn't gotten Screw Attack where I did, I would have been fine. But I got Screw Attack, and that then just used distribution to get everywhere, and Spike Maze was then out of the way. So I didn't do it. Feels bad, man.
It happens. Really good one though. I think. Yeah, I'm glad you can have fun with it still.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? You know, sometimes Rando's just gonna.
Rando's gonna rando.
Yep.
It was so unfortunate too, because this was like practically a baby scene.
Yeah. It's like I felt like I felt like I had potentially a decent lead or an advantage of some kind at one point, because I'm like I was like, you know what, Arachnus is slow. It's probably not smart to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then it ended up being a DNA. So like, anyone who didn't do that would have had to route back to Area 2 to Arachnus, but I didn't have to, except I missed super missiles, and that just screwed up everything.
Oh yeah,
With
and
super missiles, the Arachnus also isn't that slow even, because you can just
Yeah,
but he didn't have that.
yeah, and I was gambling on not needing supers.
Yeah,
because I'm just like, I have most of the stuff I need already. Even when I was doing Arachnus, I feel like I forget what I had coming out of Area 2, but I had a lot.
Yeah.
I had
safe.
Varia, 2 E-tanks, and Space Jump.
Yeah.
And bombs.
And
so
bombs
it's like,
and charge beam, yeah.
So it's like
basically
at that,
had
and
almost
ice.
everything
Ice was in Area
necessary.
2 as well.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I had like all I needed at that point was health or defense to be able to do end game. So then it was just gambling on what. Also, I had speed booster at that point, so it was just gambling on what DNAs would actually be required.
Yeah. So last couple points here is the you found Spazer in lower area 3.
Mm-hmm.
You found Spring on Ceres.
Mm-hmm.
Plasma was in parkour course.
Okay, so that was never happening.
Yeah, no, neither of you were finding that.
No, that was no. Which is funny because I did activate distribution.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had grabbed Spring Ball from Ceres, I could have done it on the way of whatever else I was doing. But I'm just like, again, my thought process there was like Gala and Meepy finished so quickly, there was no way it was going to be something behind distribution.
Yeah,
that's never something you do early.
That is a very good call.
Yeah. that is one of the nice things about not being one of the not usually winning these races. It's like I get to see when other people finish, and that gives me information on what might be left that I missed. They finished fast. It's quick checks. They finished slow. Okay, so it's something really obscure.
Mm-hmm. It is something I try to use as well, especially because like we know that Gala will basically always win first.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know that. Come on.
We kind of do, though.
But like, the chance of him not finishing first are not 0.
Right.
But I would say they're definitely under like 30%.
Yeah. It's like it's possible to beat Gala, but the odds are so low that it's just like you got to get lucky.
Based on the time when he finishes, you can kind of deduce on like where the necessary items were.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for participating today. Any final thoughts from yourselves?
Go follow the commentators.
And follow the racers, of course. Thank you very much for everyone hanging out today, checking out Speed Gaming, checking out AM2R. Go join our Discord and follow for our weeklies that occur at this time on Saturdays.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Not always the same channel. Hey, I'll
That's
jump
fair.
that.
That's fair. A variation of the same channel.
Yeah, just switch the numbers out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And we will see you next mission.
See you next mission.
Until next week.